Thank you for joining. We've got 3 really great celebrities from our Newcomers guide, and they were very nice and helpful to do interviews with us before we printed the guide. And we wanted to take the opportunity to introduce you to them. And we've got Paula from ISF, and we've got a couple of questions for our guests today, and we're very curious to learn more about them and to hear from them. So Paula, it's yours, and let's introduce your guests. Thank you so much.
So maybe first, like a brief introduction from each of you would be really nice.
Hi everybody, I'm Anara Karagul, I'm from Kazakhstan, and I'm in Germany since 3 years, still learning German. Enjoying the new country. It's the country number 6 where I live. I've been to many other countries before, but no country is like Germany. I'm happy to see you all here, and happy to be here on the stage.
And if you are raging fans of Anara already, she is on page 46, ready for autographs after our little show. Perfect. Vera.
Hello everyone, I'm Vera Tranko. I'm from Ukraine. I've been here since March. I'm learning German really intensively as I can. I'm very grateful to the Germany. I'm very grateful to German people. You are very kind to us, to all our Ukrainians, to all the Ukrainians. You support us as you can, and there is no emotions to say how we are grateful for everything you do for us. And I'm very pleased to be here. Thank you so much. Thank you for the chance. And we wish you good luck with your festival, and good luck to the Germany.
Thank you for being here. Vera is on page 124, so look her up and see what she did in the interview. Thanks, Vera, for being here.
My turn? Yeah. Hello everyone. My name is Sean. I'm from Qatar. That's the short story. Longer story is, I grew up in Qatar and Abu Dhabi, but I was born in India, and I've got some Portuguese history somewhere there. But not exactly a newcomer to Frankfurt. It's been 4 years now. The last time I was here was 2019 at this Newcomers Festival, and now I'm up here. The reason I came to Frankfurt was for work, and that was at Crytek, is at Crytek. It's a gaming company, and that's the reason I'm here also. I'm representing Crytek up on the 2nd floor. We have a stall there, and but that's only one of the things I actually do here in Frankfurt. I also do very connected to the social scene, gastronomy, events, things like that. But I'm sure questions will come up during the thing.
And of course, Sean is on page 110. He knows it by heart already. He's given so many autographs over the last few hours already. Stand in line. It's a shorter queue than the famous queue in the UK right now. Cool. Your questions.
Okay, so first, like briefly, what brought you to Germany in the first place? So for you, it was the company, right? And what about you two?
The war. Unfortunately, yes. But I have never imagined that people can be such open, so kind, so open, and so helpful. It is the biggest plus. So the war was not only the biggest disaster in our lives, but also Ukrainians right now see which people we should also be.
What about you?
I came to Germany 3 years before with my 6-year-old son. Before we lived in Southeast Asia, in Vietnam. And before that I was in Europe. I studied in Oxford and all. My decision to come back to Europe, I think my son motivated me a lot, because I wanted him to study here, to learn the culture, to learn the language. And after being like for 7 years on the beach, I understand that I'm a city girl. And I was always like imagining that I will move to a city with a great skyline, like financial center, because I'm in finance. Now I'm still in finance. Doing personal finance for expats here now. So like I accomplished all my dreams basically, and Germany, Frankfurt helped me with that.
So you said that you lived in Vietnam before and the UK, right, for your college, for university. So how many? 6 countries, right? What were those countries?
It all started. I don't count my home country. Then I was studying in Moscow. Then I moved to Geneva for my internship. Been shortly back home. Then I've been in Oxford doing my MBA there. That's 3. Istanbul, Turkey, 4. Vietnam was number 5, and now Germany.
Number 6.
So now a question to Mr. Sean. The article mentions that you have done like a variety of different jobs, like modeling, like being a personal coach, right? If you had to pick one of them, like which one would you pick? Or was there a job that particularly taught you something?
Everything taught me a lot of things, and it's hard to pick because it changes from day to day, and that's why I do all of it. So in the night, I like to make cocktails, host a good party at a restaurant, but in the morning, I don't feel like it again anymore. I don't want to do it for the next 4 days, and I just want to sit at my desk and do some work, not talk to anyone, but then suddenly I feel like putting out an outfit. I'm always putting on an outfit, but standing in front of a camera and doing it for a designer perhaps. So it's what I feel like, and that's, I think, it's a personality trait. I like to jump to different things and try different things, and everything's taught me a lot. So yeah, it's the skill set keeps growing, honestly.
And now a question to Miss Vera. So the article mentioned that you were a professor before you left on maternity leave. So what were you a professor of? Because the article didn't really mention it. So
I was the professor of international economics. I have my studies done in 2007. After that, I have a postgraduate study, and after that, I became a lecturer. And yes, I knew a lot. I knew a lot, and I still know a lot about international economics, about different levels of development in the countries. So yes, but right now I have an opportunity to to see it. Yes.
And do you think you might stay in Germany a little longer? Like
Yes. I think that I will stay here for a longer time with my daughter. Yes.
how old is your daughter right now?
4 years old.
That's great. Okay, so now like on to more everyday topics. So about food, what would you say was the weirdest thing you have eaten in Frankfurt?
Anyone?
Sauce, grüne sauce. Yes, it's very strange. It's interesting, but it's strange.
Did you enjoy it?
We have something familiar in Ukrainian cuisine, but it is so difficult to prepare, and yes, and it disappears so fast. So yes, it's it's a little bit strange because the strangest thing is that we have so many things in common. So even in cuisines, yes. So, but that was weird.
Any experiences from here?
Like in Frankfurt or in Germany?
Or actually in general in Germany?
There's I forgot the name. It's made of, I think it's a pig stomach.
Oh yes, my friend had that before.
How it's called? Pork. No. There's some.
The insides of a pig on.
Oh my
I think
God.
it's.
She's speaking wild stuff. Anything you have?
For me, I think honestly, I love Germany, but I just think all of German food is generally very weird because I love to eat a lot of meat, but putting 2 sausages on a piece of bread is not a meal, and a bit of sauerkraut on the side and a bit of salad and 2 eggs in green sauce. I mean, it's kind of weird, but still, it's.
I can hear you're quite polite. I know what you think, but you're saying it in a nice way. Thank you for that. Really appreciate. Guys, one question which is on everybody's mind is German language. I know, Anara, you had your language exams just a couple of weeks ago, did a degree and all that stuff. How are you doing with the German language? I mean, I'm a real Frankfurter. I'm glad I don't have to learn that language. How are you doing with German language? Working, not working? How is it working for you?
I cry twice a day, in the morning and in the evening, when I learn German. I know many languages, English, French, a little bit of Polish, Ukrainian, Russian are my mother languages. But this one, it is unbelievably hard. And it's those those verbs that are divided in pieces, and they just start to move all over the sentence, and it's hard to understand where did this part went. I want to find it and say, come back, I can't understand what is going on here, please stop doing that. And the most difficult thing was to understand that they're not only divided, that there are these prefixes that go inside. Oh my God, what is that? It's unbelievably hard, yes.
I think it is. I think it's really a hard language to learn. Sean, how about you?
I mean, I understand completely what you're saying, but I think there's a bit of an advantage if me as a native English speaker, you can find the connect in the German words there. And it's not really crazy if you put your mind to it. I sort of got a handle on it very quickly. When I came here 2018, Christmas holidays, I didn't have a holiday because I was doing a crash course in German when everyone was on holiday. And I did that intensely for a couple of weeks, and I did only till A2 or something. But I still continue to learn, and that's mostly because interacting with people and speaking to German people, you pick words every day, and then suddenly you realize that it's you're just doing it subconsciously. You're not even thinking about it, and the words flow out. Of course, I can't talk politics or religion to you in German, but I can get by, and it's
And have you started speaking German at the job, or is it mainly in English?
It's mainly in English, but like I said, if I'm out interacting or if I'm doing events or working in a bar,
then
I have to speak German,
Anara, you just finished the degree. I met you just 2 days after the degree or something. How did it run?
It was not even the language test, it was my financial consultant license. So that was like insurance law in German.
Oh my God.
I am so proud of myself. Like I'm licensed financial consultant. I can do it in German. I'm still learning. I have to say, somewhere deep inside, I love German language, really.
And it is a lovely language. It's just so hard.
I think it's hard to learn. Yeah, it's a challenge, but it keeps my brain young.
But it's very logical. You see, it's really nice. Yes, but the more you learn, the more you love it. Yeah.
And what also I appreciate here in Germany, like for example in Southeast Asia, you're not so integrated because you don't have to learn the language. Here, government also supports you, and you are more like integrated in the community. And this I appreciate it absolutely, that I can now talk to Germans. Somehow we speak in English with you.
Next time we speak in German then.
Gerne.
When I sent out the interviews, both of you said, as a mom, you've got so many experiences in Germany, so many things to talk about. I remember, Vera, when we talked, ask a mom and you'll get the stories from how it works in Germany and what language things are and so on. You've got so many experience through your daughter, and I think that there was feedback and so on. And I followed your story about getting the German careers or the working books with the different lines and so on. Tell us about your experiences as a mom in Germany.
As mom, the thing is that 2 days ago my child went to the kindergarten at last. Yes, I'm very, very happy. And I see that here moms, they also, it is really hard to be a mom, you see, but in Germany moms, they take care of their children in a different way. They're more open, they're more not stressed, they are more kind. I don't know. We also have a lot of interesting things to be followed in Ukraine. But here it's a really nice experience to see how moms take care of their children. So, and it isn't the easier way, but it is lighter, I suppose. It's very interesting. And yes, in the kindergarten, I had a really good conversation with a 3-year-old child. I understood what is my level of German. So, but also I like these children. They're open. They have lots of possibilities. They're very. They would like to discover more. So yes, and I think it is also the big plus of the families who raise them.
Cool. And you were fighting to get the right working books for your kids? What was that?
It was this Schulhefte, and what I found out, I was just going to say about all my positive experience as a mom here, and you just reminded me of this story when I was for every class here, be prepared. The Hefte, no? These copybooks, they're different for each year. I have to Google it. There's like, I don't know, 50 types of different, like how they do the squares and lines and stuff. And every year is a challenge to prepare my child for school.
And did you do well this year?
I think so, yeah. There's no letters from a teacher.
Still at school.
Still at school, yeah, so we did it this year. Next year I will forget and it will start again.
Thanks for that.
Yes.
You're really good. Sean, last one from me, and then we move over again. I read about you about what I thought was a very interesting answer to the question about what is home. That is normally something, if you talk to foreigners, expats, it means a lot, and so on. There's a lot of emotion and so on. And you were quite cool about home, and it was more like a technical place to sleep. Tell us about that idea. I really thought it was a great way of defining what a home probably is not or not. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more of a wanderer kind of personality. I'm very, I need to be out in the open, always searching for something new to do. I'm hyperactive. And for me, staying at home is unimaginable. And so I don't really put a lot of priority in being at home. And in the interview, they asked me what is home, and I said it's just a place to shower, rest on a Sunday, and then go back out and do your thing again. So, yeah, I mean, I think 4 years I stayed in a very small apartment here. That's just enough. It's a roof over my head, has a good bathroom, small kitchen, and that's enough. But I think only now have I decided to move to someplace bigger. And that's only because I want to have people home and I want to cook for them. So it's, again, everything is around doing something. And yeah, now I've got a home. Not living under the bridge anymore. No, I'm joking.
For all the newcomers here in Frankfurt, when did you start feeling like you really live here? Like, when did it really sink in that you live in Frankfurt now?
I think it was, it didn't take very long, probably in the first month. When I first came to Frankfurt the first day, the reason I came here in the first place was because I just wanted a reset. You know, imagine that, a reset of your whole life, forgetting everything that you were taught before, and just starting your own life from scratch, how you wanted it. And Frankfurt, the day I came here, the first day, it felt like the place for it. And within a month, it was okay. I adapted to the system. Yeah, there are a few cultural things that might take getting used to, but that was not a problem. And I've lived in other countries before, and I think probably the most challenging was India. Even though I was born there, I never grew up there. Never really was a fan of the place, but I had to study there for 4 years. And I didn't really like it, but it was a challenge because that's where I developed, what we call street smartness, learning to survive on the street. And that helps. And someone there, I remember at the time, told me, if you do survive here in this country, in this region, anywhere in the world, and that proved to be true. So settling in Frankfurt was very easy, honestly. It was luxurious.
I found here a job. I work as a volunteer in the General Consulate of Ukraine. And only after that, I started to feel that, yes, I live here because I started to work. I was connected with Germany, I was connected with Ukraine. And yes, that was the biggest pluses, I suppose, that happened for the last 6 months. And yes, right now I enjoy living here. Yes, it's great.
I think it's almost immediately, like you feel the energy of Frankfurt right away, like the skyline, mine, is everything like, that was exactly what I was looking for. And yeah, so it was like ab sofort.
The final question, and I know I'm going to torture you on that again, and it's my favorite subject, German. Let's go for the German words. I know it was in the interview a couple of things, animals, names, things which were complicated. Give us your favorite German word if you have one. It doesn't have to be wild, whatever you have. Any idea for a wild or any German word which you have learned and you've picked up and which you like or enjoy for a certain reason? I'm overwhelming you, I know.
Die Wohngemeinschaft.
Wohngemeinschaft. So what is a Wohngemeinschaft? Explain.
The mutual living, I suppose. It's the flat where different families live or different students live together. So it was a little bit complicated to to understand what is it, because we don't have such yes, we don't have the same meaning in Ukrainian or in Russian, so we have dorms, I suppose, yes, so in the universities, or just like dorms for the families, but here it's a little bit different, but looking at the prices of the flats, I understand why it is here. Yes.
I've never lived in a Wohngemeinschaft, but I think it's a crazy thing to do, and it's a once in a lifetime experience. Probably you've gone through it.
No.
Okay, cool. Sean, yours.
I don't know, interesting words. I think anything to do with insurance, Versicherung.
Versicherung, yeah.
Yeah, and that's okay. Then once you start combining it with different things, so you have Rentenversicherung, and that's already getting bigger. And then you have other insurances, and you have these big German words that start playing tricks on your head. But yeah, that's always fascinating for me.
So the Versicherung thing is really hard. It gets worse when it comes to laws, when it comes to any kind of Gesetz.
Exactly.
The words get really, really long, but I understand what you say. The Versicherung thing is really long words, and you can combine anything. And probably the Germans really enjoy having Versicherung for nearly everything. So you're right. You picked up a nice one there. Thanks. Anara, any word which you picked up or anything which you noticed which was strange?
The one I picked up, I forgot already what it means.
Try it.
No, I have another one. It was one of the first words, one of the most important ones for an expat. Aufenthaltstitel. It was written in my notes because every time I went to Ausländerbehörde and I needed to pronounce that I need Aufenthaltstitel, and it took me a few months. And of course, it's still a word of the words here.
And it's not only a terrible word; it's also a terrible thing. That means it's something really which is in German bureaucracy, and something to really fight with. Guys, I'm so glad to have you here. Thank you so much for joining. They are in the guide, so please look them up. They are really celebrities. The 10,000 guides are out, and they will be out for 1 year. So take the chance to meet them in person. It was so impressive to see you all. Thank you so much for joining, and thank you so much for joining in for the questions. ISF student Paula, thank you so much, and thank you for listening. Very kind of you. Have a great day and enjoy the festival. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.